Welcome to Loyalize,
a podcast brought to you by D Squares about customer relationships and retention. I'm Yasmin.
and I'm Bob, and on this podcast we invite world-leading experts to dive into the world of building strong loyalty.
Today I'm joined by CEO and founder of Centriqx, Nuran Mekky. Welcome, Nuran. It's lovely to have you on the Loyalize podcast.
Thank you so much, Yasmin. Happy to be here. I love your podcast and I'm looking forward.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to pick your brain. You are one of the influential people in this space in CX and CVM. So I'm very excited to talk to you today.
Same here, Yasmin. Thank you so much for the introduction.
Could you please tell us a little bit about why you got into CX and CVM and your passion for this topic?
It's quite a journey. So I've been in this field for the last 17 years, I believe. Started in real estate in real estate industry for multiple organizations like Damak, Maidan, and I was heading the group CRM and customer experience for Eagle Hills for multiple countries in Middle East and Europe. And then I moved to Gargash, where I headed the customer value management, which has a more holistic overview of the customer experience, handling call center operations, customer service, customer experience, customer insights. We had multiple data analytics, and we had a centralized team for multiple business, where I had the chance to be working on different businesses, seeing the customer journey, how it goes from one business to the other, and streamlining the customer experience for all of this. It was an eye-opener for me. Like I started to see that the fundamentals of the customer experience are the same, no matter what the industry is. So the industry is different, the ecosystem is different, but the customer experience and the fundamentals are the same, and you can apply it in any industry. So I got really passionate about that. I studied digital marketing, growth marketing, loyalty. I got certified as a loyalty marketing professional, and now I established my own CX consultancy as well to help businesses to streamline their customer experience, to build their CRM, their technology ecosystem, to serve the customer and have a more customer-centric approach.
Congratulations on Centriqx. I'm very, very excited to see all the work that you're going to be doing. As you said, the customer experience and loyalty and even CRM, all these things are usually spoken about separately. And in this episode, like you say, I'm aiming to set forth a more holistic view on these things, because they are very intertwined and very integrated, despite the different cogs and wheels that are behind the scenes. So before we jump in, I'd love to play a short game with you. Would you rather quick fire answer game? So are you ready?
Yes.
Would you rather a machine or a person take your order at a restaurant?
A person. We'll keep it always a person with the option. No, I know it's either or, but if you want to go for the easy option, something quick, your order, you have to have the option. But again, the human connection is priceless. So yeah, human.
Interesting. Yes. And I think it depends on, like you said, which, if you want it fast or you want it, depends if it's a luxury fine dining experience or something else. It will differ the kind of things that you're looking for.
Yeah, and people are different. Like maybe I would prefer that, another person would prefer something else. So you have to give always the option for the customer. But for me, I still prefer someone to ask and get more details.
Okay. How about a checkout? Would you rather an automated checkout or a person at checkout?
I don't want to stay in queues and have all of that. But again, I have to always have an access to a human. Like if I want him at any point of time, I want someone to assist me. But of course, an automated checkout for ease.
How about a chatbot versus a human rep for any queries you may have?
Chatbot, because it will, if it's normal inquiry, I need to know fast. Chatbot until I get stuck, and I always have to have the option. Like some easy option, it's clear from the beginning that I can press something, I get to a human. If they are not giving me human, like it's always happening with the IVR, the voice IVR, the virtual ones, where you cannot reach anywhere and you start cursing and it complain. So like self-services, fast, automated, Until I'm stuck, I need to reach a human.
I like your answers because it's not, you're not picking one. Well, there's one over the other, but there's always an option to have the other one if you need it. And I think that perfectly captures CX in general, the idea that all options need to be available and everyone is different. So everyone's going to have different needs. So it's about providing the right thing for the right person at the right time.
Because people are different, you cannot like generalize one aspect. Now customers are very demanding. They have lots of options. They look for the competitor experience, not the competitor experience. So they look around them, what is going on. Like here it's fast, easy, whatever the industry is. So they want to have the options. They want to have the ease. They want to be fast and to get their answers quick. And with Gen Z and Gen Alpha, it will get more and more difficult. They are more demanding, and you have to cope with that.
Definitely. And I will touch on the rapid evolution of customer expectations in a bit. You mentioned customers are looking at the comparative view rather than the competitive view when it comes to experience. Could you just elaborate on that a bit more?
Usually the competitor, like you will look in the same industry, what are like in retail or maybe like e-commerce platform, you expect the same or you compare the same. But now the customer is more demanding. So he's having a more wider overview of all the businesses. Like I go, for example, to a retail shop, Zara or whatever. I find that everything is smooth and easy. I expect to have the same level of experience, like the fast and easiness, and everything is smooth. I don't have to suffer. I can pay with an Apple Pay. I don't have to put my card details. So the customer is starting to have more demands by time, and you have to evolve with it. You cannot just stay where you are. And okay, like everyone in the industry are doing the same. Like they are selling for years or for ages this way, and we're doing well. You will fall behind. So you have to keep evolving and to keep catching up with the trends and with the market best practices.
I guess there are some nuances when it comes to different industries, like retail versus hospitality, for example. But I guess the common theme is customer centricity. And customer centricity right now is obviously a buzzword, and people are using it a lot. But I wanted to pick your brain on what that actually means in the B2B or B2C space. If you could tell me, what are the 3 telltale signs of, like, how can a customer know a business is customer centric?
Customer centric is you're putting the customer at the heart of everything, and you take it from there. You follow the customer. You are in the customer shoes, and you wake across all your journey, from the awareness, from before you are a customer, even going to the conversion, going to be like a customer. Your services are getting like you're getting served, and then you're a loyal customer. You come back, you repeat your purchase. So you put yourself on all the facets of the customer journey. And I believe the 3 aspects, or the 3 main aspects, is for the customers to be valued, recognized, and heard. I believe these are the main 3, and you will be able to build your loyalty, your CVM, your customer experience on these 3 aspects. Because as a customer, I need an emotional connection with my brand. I need to know that I'm different. They know what I really need. They are providing me what I really want. So that will encourage the repeat purchases. That will encourage that the customer will stay with you and be your advocate and come here always, because again, like the distraction is huge. So if you do not keep that engagement with the customer, and now we're going back to more than providing a mere value. Like before, I'm that brand. I'm providing a value. I'm here in the market and I'm strong. Things are changing. So the customer need to build that emotional connection, and here comes the human aspect, the empathy, and all of these terms that we are using.
So you mentioned value, and that's a big topic right now, is the debate between rewards and value. However, I personally think that the 2 don't need to be separated. I think value can be inherent in the way that you provide rewards as a business. So when it comes to value, I mean, it's tricky because there's the value that businesses think they're providing, and then the value that customers are actually perceiving. So what's your take on this?
100%. Like value rewards can be within the value you're providing. What is the customer is expecting from you? Don't put like a hypothesis that this is the value I'm providing. You have to listen to your customers and you have to build from there what your customer needs. Now we have the AI or the enablement of the data analytics that will give you insights on the customer behavior, on his purchase pattern, his frequency, his lots of detail, the customer life cycle, how he is interacting with you. So you will have lots of insights. From there, you have to start building what the customer wants. Give you one example here. It's relevant to value. It's actually one of the grocery stores I've been following for the last 6 or 7 years, from the time they started as a very small grocery store. And the way they have all the aspects of the customer centricity in their engagement with their customers, they are having the best human interaction with their teams. They are all dealing with you with a smile. They are there for long. There is no much turnover. So you start to building that human rapport. The way they start to build community around their grocery market, they start to create concepts. So you have the bakery store, you have the hypermarket. In the bakery, they started to have an area for dine-in and breakfast. They started to have activations and events for kids, for women, for different segments. They start to bring the customer to have the co-creation of the products, of their products. So they start with being generous, and I believe it's a very important aspect of loyalty. They give samples of their different products here and there. When you pass by, you have to taste everything. They start to create out of these products a salad. Some ingredients of something that you may try to want to taste. You go pass by, you taste it. Okay, it's nice. How can I make it? You start asking the personnel there how to make it. He starts to give you the ingredients. You start buying the ingredients to make the same, and then they start to create the same product to put it on their shelves. So they have the salad ready made for you. They have that pasta ready made for you. They start to build a section for you to come. So from here, I mean that you have to make your experience customer-centric. The customer is the one who's creating the experience, not you. So you involve him, you listen to him, you start building the engagement with him, you put your personnel and workforce to build that relations. You put the automation and the data analytics in the back end to give you insights on the customer interactions. They built the loyalty program where they are very generous. Again, every time I go there, of course, I spend more because they are giving me more variety that is relevant to me. They start to giving me rewards, whether it's experiences or rewards as of like the normal rewards, or something that I can bring my friends and to enjoy the same things that I enjoy. So they start to build a community, and I believe that is what loyalty and customer experience is all about. The engagement, that emotional engagement, and the recognition, and that tie you build with the brand. So I believe that is the customer centricity, that you take everything from the customer side. You don't build it from your own, like it's my process, it's my value, that's what I'm providing to the customer, that's what is going for years. You start to go on the customer side. And that, of course, takes a village on the processes, on your customer journey mapping, on all the customer touch points, on creating the digital and physical experience to be seamless, on being generous. It takes a village. It's like a gearbox. You cannot treat marketing separate from support, separate from sales, separate from loyalty teams. They have to be all connected. And I believe that is all about customer value management and customer lifecycle management.
Let's keep the conversation going. You can now join our community on LinkedIn for more exclusive content, insights, and discussions. Simply search for Loyalize on LinkedIn.
I think this example that you've just mentioned is a perfect example of the way a delicate balance is needed between the human element and the automated element, and the front and the back end, the micro and the macro level as well, the community, and the way that on like a one-to-one basis, the smiling that you said, the being generous. I think it's such a dance between all these different elements. How can businesses keep up with these? And what are the drivers of these changes?
I believe, Yasmin, there are lots of new aspects. Again, it's rapidly evolving. So you have the AI, which is the buzzword. It's coming now. Like everyone wants to adopt AI, whether it's in their service, in their processes, and their data analytics, and in lots of aspects. So AI is amazing, but it's an enablement tool. It's not the solution. Like bringing the AI to the forefront to the customer is not the key. AI is an amazing enabler for you to know really your customer, to be able to have a hyper-personalized campaigns, to have a personalized tone of voice to each of your customer, to give him the value that he is looking for, not what you see as a value.
How can businesses determine what customers view as or perceive as value? Having that outside-in approach.
You have to listen to the customer from all your platforms, from his interactions, from his engagement behavior. Again, like data is a gold source. Like now, all the tools that we have, it's giving us an overview on that. So I believe a very fundamental stage is to have a customer journey mapping before going into, and experience mining before going into all these details, or before defining the value that the customer is expecting. When I speak about the customer journey mapping, it's not only the initial step of the customer interaction. You have to go and dive deeper, experience mining from the process aspect, the people aspect, the data aspect. You take every touch point and analyze what's happening in the back end, because eventually whatever is happening on the back end, the customer, it will come and it will be impacting the customer experience. So for example, some disconnection between my finance department and my sales department, or my support department, even like any disconnection there will have its impact on the service level, on the KPIs, on the visibility for each department, and eventually that all will come to the main aspect. Because what we are saying, if you go to the management side, who see from the like the high level view, they care about numbers, like what's the ROI and all that. You keep speaking about the customer centricity, emotions, engagement, rapport, but to them, give me the figures. So eventually the number will speak, because once you start enhancing each touch point, you will start seeing it from the marketing, the number of leads you generate, how they are converted, how the customer, how his journey on the conversion, how he became your customer, how his support and requests are getting answered, how he come again, how he repeated his purchase, how you increased his order value by, and you can always measure that. It's always measurable. It's a long-term process. You start by being generous, start building the core, and then you will see the return. And the return will come 100%. It always comes, but again, it comes from the top.
I guess it's about also having that CLV mindset, that long-term mindset that you mentioned, not just, I guess we're seeing a lot of overemphasis on short-term sales or seasonal peaks, and not enough is being considered when it comes to the long-term view of things. And it's
more of a transactional relationship, like they are looking as a transactional relationship, and that's it, and it's done. But that will never build loyalty, will never build retention.
That takes us back to the value versus rewards debate, that usually people are pitting the two against each other, but actually you can provide value through your rewards, and how you go about that is all part of the experience. So you mentioned the ideal customer journey or customer journey mapping. What are the common pitfalls that businesses fall into, and what should businesses be focusing more on?
The pitfall, I believe that sometimes they believe that one piece of technology will fix it all. Like one technology vendor will come to you and he will tell you, I have the magic pill. This one will streamline all your processes, which will never happen. It's all about your strategy, about your customer journey mapping, know your customer touch points, and started to integrate your ecosystem. Integration is one important aspect of the customer experience. So maybe you have an infrastructure that is existing, you have invested a lot in that. You do not have to to wipe it away. You have to see how to integrate that. That's why I always, when I start with any customer, no matter the industry, I look at each industry. What are your tech infrastructure? How are your processes? How are your people dealing with these systems and technology and the process? And I start from there, setting the strategy to see what are the pieces that we need. Because now, again, the technology, it's evolving. So you will find that one solution before it was doing social media listening. Now it's becoming a contact center solution system. They are integrating marketing automation, and they starting getting parts of loyalty. So each technology vendor is starting to add up to their solution to get more and more to solve lots of bottlenecks. But it's a no one fits all. It's a no one size fits all.
Through your consultancy, you deal with a lot of clients from different industries and different backgrounds with different needs. What's one thing or a couple of things that have surprised you when it comes to consumer behavior that's changed recently?
Consumer behavior, the customers are more demanding. Like whatever you were providing them in the past is no longer satisfying them. Like I can have the best brand with the amazing reputation. I'm the only provider, but people by time, like, they will go for alternatives. Look at Gen Z and Gen Alpha. They start to want immersive experiences. They are going for VR and virtual events and like augmented reality and virtual reality. They want to go and dig deep into an experience to live that product and be able to go to a physical store to buy something that is relevant. They are started to build that connected experiences. So I believe Gen Z and Gen Alpha now are surprising me, because the way they are demanding, the way that nothing is satisfying them anymore. Like, they are so demanding that they will decide that if you do not follow, I'll not be your customer. They will be the decision makers. And if businesses, they do not see that, in some time, some businesses will fall. They will fall behind.
A big challenge with what you're saying is staying agile and keeping up with all these changes. So I'm wondering, the old expression, the customer is always right. What I'm trying to ask is if customer delight is an extra step, or is it a given?
It's a given. By time, it will be a given. Like now, even I believe Jaguar, if I'm not mistaken, like they started to have a different approach to reach a different segment, like the new generations that are coming up. So delighting your customers, listening to them, not only relying on some surveys or feedbacks, go deeper into sentiment analysis, data analytics, predictive analytics, see how the customer utilize all the tools and the AI enablement and all the technology that is coming in place to know your customer and what he needs and what is he expecting, and start to be agile enough to adapt into that. Co-creation of your product, co-creation of your experience, crowdsourcing of whatever is happening from all the platforms. So you have to be so agile and build your foundations, because surprisingly, you will find that lots of organizations, the big organizations, big names, they are still much behind, much behind. They still have that ego of, I'm here, I'm the value, I'm the brand, which by time they will fall. And we saw lots of brands that were relying on their big names. They didn't evolve, they didn't change, and they fall behind. So I believe that will say it a lot in the coming years.
Speaking of what we're going to see in the coming years, I also wanted to ask you about if you had any bold predictions for the next 3 to 5 years when it comes to customer engagement and CRM.
AI will see it a lot in a lot of areas. It will be present in all the aspect of the business processes, not only support and customer experience. And the people who will be able to utilize it correctly, it will be an enabler for them for lots of things. Again, needs regulations, because it's not that reliable. Like, if it depends on what you provide to the AI, from your data quality, from your questions of what you need to know out of the AI, because now, like, give it a try, like on a chatbot, ask about something. Sometimes you'll find that the AI is creating things out of, like, I've asked the AI recently, the Meta AI on WhatsApp, who's Nuran Mekky? I'm just playing. He started to give me like she's in Forbes, featured in Forbes, and she's having that from Harvard. And then I asked him like, give me more, and he started to create things. So again, like how it's regulated, what's your data quality? Don't ever put it just on the customer front end and leave it. You have to validate. You have to keep doing a regular checkups and quality on whatever is provided. It's not a buzzword that, okay, I'm adopting AI and that's it. I've done my part and I'm agile and I'm going with the hype. It has lots of considerations that has to be seen.
I mean, exactly like you said, AI is an enabling tool. It's not a magic pill as well. And with AI right now, I mean, we still have a long way to go, especially when it comes to its impact on loyalty, its impact on CX as well. But one of the main things right now that's obviously making a huge difference is measuring the impact of CX efforts, whether it's sentiment-based or data-based. So, and you touched on that point as well. So that's very, we have a lot to look forward to when it comes to AI in the space. So what advice would you give to CVM professionals about customer engagement?
Customer is at the heart of everything. Have a more holistic view. Don't just like limit yourself to some aspects of the customer journey. Have a more holistic view and start breaking it, setting measurable KPIs, clear like objectives where you want to be heading on each and every aspect of your touch points, and start working on your technology, people, processes, and data all together to create that seamless experience. So it has to be holistic, going to loyalty and coming back. So loyalty and coming back to acquisition. So yeah,
I really enjoyed our conversation. A couple of things for me that were key takeaways. One of them was what you said about loyalty and generosity, and I think that's so true. When a business extends a hand or is generous with their offerings, or even just the experience before the offering, I think that makes a huge difference for the emotional connection. And I really like the way that you phrased it. Another thing that was a key takeaway for me was when you said the misalignment internally or in the back end can affect and resound in the customer experience. And that's also, I think, a hallmark of customer obsession or customer centricity is alignment internally. So it was very interesting to hear you say that. So thank you so much, Nuran, for this really insightful chat.
Thank you so much, Yasmin.
Your passion definitely shines through, and I've learned a lot from what you were saying. So thank you again for being on Loyalize.
Thank you so much, Yasmin.